Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your listening attention. We are discussing a topic where he has laid the foundation, leveraging policy and governance to accelerate innovation for a sustainable future. Now, sustainability is very key in this. Policy and governance help direct the innovation that we must cherish. So I'll be inviting to join this conversation somebody who drives policy, and indeed he heads, or rather she heads the Federal Institute for Industrial Research, FIRO Oshodi. The Director General, Dr. Jumai Adamu Tutua, is ably represented by Dr. Timothy Ajayi. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much. Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we have two virtual speakers. I have with me from the Middle East, Bradley Shaw, who is the Vice President, Middle East and Africa, Link Global. Please, let's put our hands together for her. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to identify with somebody who is physically present with us. He is a veteran, and you would agree with me that these are faces that have shaped the creative industry in Nigeria. He's also of my alumni, and we are very proud of them. Please welcome great Chief Yemi Sholade. Please put your hands together for him. All right, and the last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, innovation is the conversation here. We all recognize the fact that Facebook is perhaps the biggest disruption of this age, which is a solution developed by an American. Of course, we know Mark Zuckerberg. And of course, the TikTok that has become the talk of the town, which was developed by, if you like, you say Chinese American or American Chinese. There is that link of those two great nations. We have an innovator who is also disrupting the social media space. He's a Nigerian, but he's based in the United States of America, specifically in Texas. He would be joining us virtually, Engineer Fisayo Olamigoke, the president and CEO of eSocial Mint, who will be speaking to us from Texas. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would start from my far left because we are talking of policy governance to accelerate innovation for sustainable future. We would have the DG of FIRO speak to us how, as a government organization, what they are doing in order to ensure that through policy we are able to accelerate innovation for the growth of Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I have just past 12. FIRO is a federal parastatal under the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, or Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, as we are called now. FIRO came to be from the report of a World Bank mission sent to Nigeria in 1953. The observation of that team tend to say that Nigeria research and development efforts are not coordinated, or were not coordinated, no definite direction. That led to the creation of FIRO with the overall mandate to help accelerate the rate of industrialization of the nation's economy. From the intro we had, one of the challenges we have observed is this policy reversal, policy inconsistencies. And if we take for an example, this issue of introduction of or inclusion of a fraction of cassava flour into wheat for baking bread. During the regime of Baba Obasanjo, the policy seems like we are getting somewhere. We will get, at least farmers will have reasons to smile, because a fraction of cassava flour, high quality cassava flour, will be in wheat for bread making, and that will bring money. But today, where are we? Where are we? All the efforts thrown at it then were all wasted, so to say. So we will, as a nation, be doing ourselves good if we add China 100-year policy, and they are pursuing it.
Thank you.
Simple,
Thank you.
sorry, sir. Simple, what's these two governors, Ogun State governor, one leaving and the other,
Yes.
we lost 3 presidential jets.
Okay.
Just because a regime cannot move on with the policy of the previous regime because of personal egos.
Okay.
God will help us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Timothy. He has also re-emphasized the need for consistency and continuity in the aspect of policy implementation. Please, before I take the next speaker who was already on this panel, I was brought alongside him. That's Mr. Peter Ukeme, the head product development and strategy of Express Payment. Let's have the honor of inviting Bradley Shaw, the Vice President, Middle East and Africa, Link Global, to give us an insight as to what we as a people, as a country, as a continent needs to do in order to ensure that innovation is delivered at the speed of light for the development and the good of the people. Bradley, are you there? Bradley is joining us from South Africa. Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. Thank you. We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you, Bradley. Please speak up.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me now?
Very well. We can hear you.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you very much for the invite to join you. My name is Bradley Shaw. I'm the Vice President of Middle East and Africa for Link Global. Link Global is a LEO satellite operator working in the direct-to-device space, where we use mobile operator spectrum to connect mobile phones directly to the satellites orbiting at 500 kilometers above us. I am incredibly grateful to be here. Apologies that I can't be with you in Lagos. It's a firm favorite of mine. I was there a couple of months ago. Love coming to Lagos. But yeah, a pity I couldn't be there for this event now. So in terms of innovation in Africa, from our standpoint as a satellite operator, we firmly work on the proviso that for innovation to take place, there needs to be a starting point. And the starting point in our minds is connectivity. Without connectivity, without digital products being available to remote and rural communities, where are people learning? Where are people connecting? Where are they communicating? So all of that becomes absolutely critical. That we see that the starting point of that innovation is providing connectivity to those communities. So from a regulatory standpoint, what can government do to promote connectivity, to promote SMMEs, to develop connectivity solutions, to set up internet cafes, to set up e-learning hubs, to set up venture capital or kind of small business accelerators. All of that needs connectivity as this kind of basis. So yeah, from our standpoint, the starting point in terms of innovation is connectivity. I know that the Nigerian government has been working incredibly hard at driving connectivity into the rural communities. I know both Airtel and MTN have been running fairly extensive rural connectivity kind of CapEx programs. We're a potential partner coming to the market, providing a new solution in terms of providing connectivity direct from the satellite with no terrestrial infrastructure. And the important part is that we are backward compatible with all mobile devices. It's not only your newest devices that are going to connect to our satellites, it's any 3GPP compliant device, all the way back to the old Nokia 3210s. Anything with a SIM card in it will be able to connect up to the satellite. So it's a nicely inclusive solution as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bradley. Thank you for your contribution. The most important aspect of Bradley's submission is the fact that connectivity is integral, is key to ensuring innovation thrives in our economy. Now, picking it from that perspective, I'm coming to Mr. Ukeme Peters of Express Payments. Now, one of the fastest growing aspect of the economy is the fintech sector in Nigeria. My 88-year-old dad in the village can sit down and receive money without necessarily going to his traditional bank of over 40 years thereabout. Now, Ukeme, can you please give us an insight from the private sector and a fintech player? What impact you think policy has to do on how the digital environment drives service provision, especially in the fintech sector?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to say that, I mean, of course, policy is very important and crucial. The fact that, you know, we are in the fintech space and we are inundated with technology. Technology is our tool, more or less. But that in itself also offers us incredible and limitless opportunities. You know, a lot of things are possible. So if you don't have clear-cut policies, you know, to guide innovation, as it were, you find that there are situations where some innovations can now be beneficial to some people, but detrimental to, you know, some others. And we can see examples from other climes as well. The thing about policy, I think the most important thing to address there is that you also need policy that is not stifling. That's the operating word there. So when we talk about policy, there has to be a clear understanding of how the industry works and operates, and then use that to set a framework and guideline, you know, for innovation. So things like if you have good policies in place, you will have policies that would protect intellectual property, for instance. So if you look at Nigeria, I mean, how many IPs are out there? But countries that have made it in the world, the United States, you talk of them filing 300 and something thousand patents in 1 year. China in itself has over 4 million patents, you know, that have been filed. But it boiled down to legitimate government policies to encourage people with ideas, you know, policies that allowed them, gave them the framework to be able to innovate and to protect them, as well as provide a guide, you know, for them to thrive. In Nigeria now, even in our space, you have people that have had ideas that are kind of afraid to share those ideas, because they'll tell you that, look, if these ideas come out, then you will just see it being implemented somewhere, and that originality has been lost, and the person then feels like the original idea that was mine has been taken away from me, and there is no clear policy that guides that idea through to the point where the individual is able to profit from it. So we need policies, but those policies have to be enabling for the fintech space to be able to keep growing, and indeed every other sector of the economy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peter. And that gives me the conviction why maybe the Lord Jesus Christ said, Peter, upon this rock, I'll build my church. I can see we need the policies to help us to innovate, protect the innovation ecosystem, and of course, not stifle it. Thank you so much, Peter. Why we have taken a physical contribution, I think we should switch our connectivity from this hall to the president and CEO of eSocial Mint, who is joining us live from Houston in Texas. Engineer Fisayo, please, are you there, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you quite well. All right, okay. Engineer Fisayo, the social media space is much of an issue of concern to Nigerians. TikTok has its all good, and you like the bad, and the Facebook as well. Now, as a Nigerian, as an African who is coming up with the eSocial Mint, can you tell us how this will peculiarly address the interests of Africa, address the interests of Nigerians, please?
eSocial Mint is more than just a social media app. It's an hybrid social media. In other words, it contains events, social media itself, adverts, and every other thing that comes with social media. And at the same time, it provides jobs for different people, especially the youth. We have TikTok for China, right? We have Facebook, USA. We have X, originally Twitter. The owner is from South Africa. We don't have anything that we can really say this is our national social media. In other words, we don't have something like Facebook that we can say, oh, it's peculiar to Nigeria. The reason why ESM, eSocial Mint, is developed is purposely because of Nigeria. We realize that we have a culture. Our culture is to party. Our culture is to spray money, and we enjoy it, and we don't want anybody to take that from us. And how do we obey the policy of the land and at the same time enjoy our culture? And that is one of the reasons why we have ESM innovation. ESM is designed in such a way that anybody can join your event and be able to spray you money from any part of the world in different currencies, and you have money in your bank account. It enables you to save money. It enables you to save time. Enables you to share culture, and at the same time, you make money. For every event, you can select event managers. You can select event workers that are local to that particular event location, and we connect you with those people, and you are able to pay them at the end of the day. Then everything is free on ESM. And for us to obey the policy of the land in terms of spraying of money, we also have event connected to hologram. In other words, when you cannot attend an event, you come through ESM and you are connected to the holographic machines, and you appear at the event location. And you take photographs with them, you spray the celebrants money, and at the same time, you dance with the celebrant. So we are connected. And the future is we want to be able to connect this app.
Sorry, please, let Comical Fisayo. Is it like the African Magic connection? Can you? Oh, Vacha is spraying. Hello?
It's not African Magic connection.
Okay.
It's just technology.
Okay.
We have the app where you attend the event, just like the way you have Zoom. Zoom is 45 minutes. We are unlimited time, unlimited participant, unlimited bandwidth. So when you attend an event, just like Mr. Bradley Shaw from the US, I think, can just appear on the stage there via hologram through ESM, and he will be able to make his own speech, and he will take photographs. It will, it will just disappear. You understand? After making his speech, and he can dance with the celebrant. And if it's a team meeting, the CEO can appear in the meeting room via hologram and make it more interactive. Even our church leaders, our worship leaders, they can preach remotely from anywhere. Our event, our celebrities, our artists, they can perform in 20 different locations via holograms without leaving their comfort zone. And they will also collect cover charge. In other words, they will collect gate fees at those locations.
Okay.
So we make it robust in such a way that everybody is able to cut his or our own, piece of pie from ESM. Everybody is making money.
Thank you, Engineer Fisayo. We would get back to you to wrap up your submission afterwards, but thank you so much. One key thing I have been able to pick from his presentation is the fact that the e-social mint platform would enable us to do so much, including present, even though in absentia. That sounds good. But I hope we will not be eating virtually rather than eating physically. It's important to us. Now, I'm coming to Chief Yemi Solade, who is a veteran Nollywood person. My concerns are Africans, Nigerians are very culturally oriented, and we value our cultural system. How do we ensure that the availability of the social media, the internet, we annex it in a way that we don't misrepresent those cultural values, especially with the creative industry where you play, sir?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Well, let me start by looking at the cultural policy in Nigeria. I'm very happy my brother is here, Otumba Ajiboye. He says so much about culture, like he was speaking for me and representing me. And obviously, my wonderful brother that I just met today, Yakubu Lamai. Yeah, you guys have been awesome. Well, let's go into this culture thing about talking about the policies. Culture sector in Nigeria seems to be about the only sector that the government underplays. I don't really see any. I'm over 60 and I don't think I've been in the arts, performing art for 47 years, and I haven't seen, I'm yet to see any policy formulated by the government that benefits the average creative mind in Nigeria. I think the problem here is the coloration of who we are. Generally, Nigeria is a multi-ethnic nation. And by extension, that is what bedevils the cultural family too. You have all sort of cultures. Once for instance, Otumba Ajiboye becomes the Minister of Culture today because he's Yoruba. The Yoruba stock feels that, oh, our person is there, so he has to play along with us. It doesn't work like that. So that is a problem with the culture sector in Nigeria. We are too tribalistic. We are so much nepotistic tendencies around there. So I have never, in all my existence as a performing artist, seen any culture policy that has benefited someone like me anyway. So we've been very individualistic up to the moment we got to creating Nollywood. And this is where I think we should dwell on. This is what will interest you. We are talking of technology, and you'll be talking of Nollywood. I started as an actor on stage. First time I acted in my life, I represented Nigeria in 1977. I was the youngest actor. I was 17. There was no technology like we have today. And then there was no way to transmit other than the NTA of those days. And that was all about. Now we are in the era of social media, internet, and what have you. And now it is very easy for the average creative to just place anything on internet. Be it from the inner recess of their rooms, it goes global. And that is what we live with today. And then, whether we like it or not, culture when it comes to performing art, Dito Nollywood, is very manual. Performance is human. The human element, you come together, there's a script, you reenact.
Despite hologram
yes,
and
then,
AI.
but the only what?
The hologram and the AI.
No, let's leave hologram. That
Okay.
is, I was laughing all through. We don't do our thing virtually.
Okay.
But the thing is, we need the transmitting vehicle, which is technology here. And that is why we have the internet. Social media is the order of the day. And then you get to see all these things we see. Good. And now, whatever it is that we say here today, Nigerian youth especially are very innovative. I want to give it to them. If you move around this country and see what the creative minds, especially the young ones, do, you will be amazed. The good, the bad, the ugly, no doubt. We've talked about social media, the use of social media, good, the bad, the ugly. But whatever it is that we want to believe, you can plug in using your talent to influence your immediate environment. And then you can export that globally. We see that every time. But then, now the government is my own concern. What is the government doing about all these things? We don't regulate anything. The only thing the government understands about, oh, okay, maybe the Center for Culture and those departments, there is Ministry of Culture, we know. But then I still marvel, even when I hear a statement from the government quarters talking about Nollywood, for instance, not depicting who we are very well. We are not getting things right. But no, that is very unfair.
Okay.
Nollywood, for all I care, is an individual thing. It started from individuals. But then, whether we like it or not, we have been a very, very veritable platform employing Nigerian youth, exporting our culture, exporting so much of our talent, and then it's a very, very money-spinning sector that grosses so much over, I know as a last year, over 15 billion naira that was grossing. A movie done by one of us, even the president of this country had to applaud her, Funke Akindele, at the cinema. A Tribe Called Judah grossed over 1 billion naira. That would tell you the power of the art especially, and has been transported through technology.
Okay.
So I would tell you so much is embedded in this country culturally, but then the government has to be very sincere and open with us so that we can shake hands like the guest speaker told us, and not use the elbow all the time.
Thank you so much. Please, we can put our hands together for Yemi Sholade. We have to wrap up this segment of the program right about now, but I'll be giving 45 seconds to each of the speakers to please make their final submission. Let's quickly take Bradley Shaw to tell us how innovation can be sustainable. He emphasized connectivity as key. Now, how do we sustain these innovations as legacies for the good of Africa in general? Bradley, are you there? In 45 seconds, please wrap up for us how we would ensure the sustainability of innovations to keep Africa on the developmental track.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. It's a great ending question and one very difficult to complete in 45 seconds. But I think after connectivity, I think small businesses are the way to keep innovation moving. Innovation seems to not be the sole land of the big corporates. We've certainly seen more innovation coming out of small businesses over the last 20 years than any of the larger ones. And I look forward to seeing more African innovations and African businesses take the global stage. We've had some great successes out of Nigeria over the last couple of years. Some in the fintech space with their own levels of controversy. But Nigeria is a phenomenal place, and I look forward to seeing more Nigerian innovations hit the global stage and be successful. And I think that comes out of the support of talented entrepreneurs in the country. And I think that is crucial for ongoing innovation and success. Thank you very much for the time, and thank you for welcoming me today.
Thank
you very
you
much.
so much, Bradley. Thank you, and we appreciate your contribution. I'll take a physical submission now. From the perspective of a research and development institution, that's talking about the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, FIRO Oshodi. What do we need to do? Mr. Timakao mentioned the fact that research development needs to get to the point of execution, implementation. So what do we do to ensure that these documents, these findings are distilled to implementation for the good of the people, sir? Mr. Timothy Ajayi.
The setting, we really need to support the sector. I recall a few years back, I made a presentation on managing R&D in an uncertain budget environment. You see, as we speak, 2020, the life of 2023 budget has been extended till December.
Okay.
Our sector are supposed to go to Nasarawa, Lafia in Nasarawa, for this year's National Council on Science and Technology.
Okay.
That program has been on hold because 2024 budget has not been implemented. So that's, if we, in that presentation that I referred, I compared running a World Bank project with running our own R&D project. Before you are set to go on any World Bank project, the fund you need is already there.
Okay.
So at every stage where you just get, you ask, you get. But even when you have plan, you have budget, we have 2024 budget, and the year is almost running to an end.
The budget here has not started.
So what do you do?
Are you asking me, sir?
No, how do you function in such a situation?
I'm not in charge of budget, sir.
So the nation has to find a way. We had during the intro, the way the US, the way China maneuver around funding.
Can we wrap up,
Find
Mr.
a
Ajayi?
way
Yes.
around it.
Okay.
God will help us.
Okay. The summary is that God will help us, and God will help us. Amen. Now, I'll take a final wrap-up from Mr. Ukeme Peters of Express Payment Organization. Sir, driving innovation, driving growth, and of course, service to the man in Potiskum, the man in Oron, and the man in Abeokuta? How do we ensure that they are brought in that inclusivity with solutions like express payment? You want to make the money in Lagos, how do you get it to those people up there, sir?
Well,
Please, let's do that in 40 seconds.
Okay. Well, interestingly, you mentioned Oron, place I know very well.
Okay.
And we are not just in Lagos, actually. We are pan-Nigerian, okay? And one thing that we do is we try to play in the financial inclusion space. I mean, at least government have provided that framework, and we've latched onto it. But there are a lot more that can be done. So I look at things like policy harmonization. So we've got different, if you just take, for instance, that of registrations. We've got several databases. For instance, now you have your international passport, you did thumbprint. You have your NIN, you did thumbprint. You have your driver's license, you did thumbprint. You had BVN, you did thumbprint. Which other one? You now have NIN, voter's card, you did thumbprint. NIN, yeah. So why don't we harmonize these policies, and bring them under a common database such that, you can quickly onboard someone. So you have someone there in the village that only has a voter's card. They should be able to access banking services, for instance. So these are things that government can do overall that can help industry to thrive better. But most importantly, it's the aspect of R&D that is very critical.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Peter, you would relate with Dr. Bayero Agabi. He's a member of the Presidential Committee on Data Harmonization. Let him give you answers. And on a final note, Chief Yemi Sholade, please, as a people, what do we do to ensure that Generation Next doesn't miss that cultural element of the essence of our people?
Well, I think what we do, as some of us that are becoming elders suddenly, is to transmit genuinely those things that we have imbibed culturally and not depend on westernization. And then, because it is often said and commonly said in my space, the Yoruba adage which says that Odo Togbagbe Orisuen Omagbe, which literally means that a river that forgets its bank will definitely dry up. So that is it. We are too westernized in this part of the and then we are fast eroding our culture, which is becoming a cankerworm. And then the government has to put policies in place that would at least attract the gown. When I say the gown, the academics in our field are not politicized culture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of this panel, Mr. Peter, Mr. Yemi, and Mr. Timothy, I'm yours sincerely, Hilary Damisa. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Let's take a quick picture. While that is happening, please let's give them a round of applause. We will, break down a bit with the first group, after which our keynote speaker, Dr. Helen, will be, speaking to us. We want to appreciate you for your time.